Hello, fellow Hyruleians! I am your guide, the Hyrule Historian, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Legend of Zelda, the Wind Waker Randomizer, the Great Adventure, where today we start off with 2 chests. What will these chests hold? Well, we're about to find out. A skull necklace. Fair enough. We are within the depths of a dungeon that is deep underwater. And what is within chest number 2? Fish bait. Just in case you want to go fishing for any magma fish. Sadly, they did not exist until Skyward Sword. So, the only other things I can think of fishing is, well, the thing that lies beyond that door. Sadly, we are not going to be facing off with the boss just yet, because we have to actually go gather a few more chests, and the remaining ones is where Valoo is, and the one that we actually get farther down that way. And this would be the place where we would actually get the grappling hook. So, yeah. Ow. Okay, Blue, we may need to run a little bit faster this time. I don't know what was stopping us. I guess this is what happens when you run and talk at the same time. Kind of bite your tongue there. Now, actually, this is where we would help Medley out, the Rito girl, which Blink would have already helped her by now. And at the moment, Blue doesn't know who Medley is. This is the main area where Blue wanted to be at, though. You know what? I guess that's just it. Blue wanted to talk to Valoo, and, well, because of the whole randomizer, Valoo is now underwater, and we must face off with several bokoblins and 1 moblin. Missing something? Come on. Oh, come on. Stop being a ninja. You know what? That's just it. All the enemies around us tries to act like the Sheikah, but, you know, they're not that great. Is that, or, and I know a lot of people may not care for this, but it'd be like the old Zelda cartoon. The enemies just poof in smoke and returns to Ganon. And then, at the end, Ganon just gets mad at him and sends them out again to face Link. And it keeps on repeating themselves until all the moblins get mad at Ganon and puts him within this thing known as the Evil Jar. But what lies within? The compass. Yay. So that would have been normally the grappling hook, which we actually at, and there is Valoo, the great fire dragon who protects the Rito, and the descendant to Volvolgia. If any of you are curious, Volvolgia is from Ocarina of Time, and not... Volvolgia was the bad-tempered dragon throughout the Zelda series. I believe there were a few other bad-tempered dragons, but they don't really have much of a name. But we are now going to be going farther down this mountainside, which now, as you can see, we are above some clouds, but still underneath the ocean, if any of that makes sense. And I feel like I keep on bringing that up, is like, this is what the randomizer does to Hyrule. This is what happens when people messes with the Sacred Realm. Everything gets tipped upside down, and there's not really an explanation for it. But this is actually where Wind Waker actually introduces an interesting mechanic, which is destroying bridges. And the final chest contains treasure chart 18. Now, if we would have normally been able to do the dungeon normally, this is where we would have dropped down at by using this platform. Not within that way. The proper way would be destroying the ropes that actually supports this platform, and then drop down. Such as this way. Okay. So normally this would be the way to get down to the bottom floor where you would normally get the boss key, but as in the last episode we had to use the Deku Leaf to get there, which held the normal key. It would be that simple. But we are going to take another little shortcut, and we are actually going to jump within these jars to reach our main destination, which that is the wrong jar. That's the jar to jump to other dungeons, which is for the randomizer. So if we enter this magic jar right here, this will warp us across the dungeon, which I thought was really interesting for Wind Waker, since you don't see those pots in any other Zelda games. The closest thing to them is the teleporting pads on Breath of the Wild, but I can't really think where else you would actually find like things like that. And I guess really Breath of the Wild doesn't hold dungeons when it comes to that, so the dungeons are straightforward in Breath of the Wild. And anyways, we are going to ignore that enemy since it is time to face the boss of the dungeon. It is time to finally end Valu's suffering. However, it doesn't seem like we are going to be introduced to the boss normally. But yes, this is Goma. You know, the armored arachnid from Ocarina of Time. That is what we are facing, but it's fire form. This is how Goma evolves throughout the generations. But as you can see, it's kind of a straightforward battle. We're just grabbing onto Valu's tail, and he's making the ceiling fall on Goma. We just need to get out of the way first. Dodge the claws, crack the armor, and then shoot out the eye while trying to dodge the claws. Ow, you hurt. There we go. Now let's see if we can land up. Yeah, we landed up on the platform. This is where we can refill our hearts and magic if needed. And actually get a good view on Goma. And this is also kind of a cheap way if you're able to make it up here. Because the main battle will happen on the floor. But there we have it. However, Goma makes us think the battle is over. But Goma is now just getting serious. However... Ow. That I don't remember. Hey, the bow actually works against Goma. Round and around you go. That was anticlimactic. But interesting that I know now that the bow and arrows will work against Goma. You actually get the bow and arrows in the third dungeon. Yay! I feel happy inside. We not only helped out Valoo, but in return, a treasure chart waits for us. Just look how beautiful it is. What treasure lies within it? Treasure chart 3. How many treasure charts have we collected in Dragon Roost? 3? 4? I know we collected one earlier on when we first arrived here. Also, where would this send us now? Since we was... Oh, okay. Since we was in the Dragon Roost Caverns, thought it would send us to Dragon Roost Island. But no, just sends us right outside of the Earth Temple. Well, that was exciting. And I feel like there is still one last thing that we could actually end this episode off on. So, as Blue suggested, we shall go this way. And we are going to be heading to Outset Island, since there is in fact a great ferry there. And I feel like that is kind of where we are going to be ending this episode off on, because these episodes have been lasting a little bit longer than I wanted them to, since I kind of lose track of time whenever you're sailing the open seas. And as well, it's always good to go and visit Grandma from time to time. I lost track of where the ladder was. Sorry, Red. You're gonna have to park yourself. Oh yeah, I have the cell. I mean, that's something about him, is that he could actually leave us stranded on an island. It's like, here we are on our own adventure, going into Dragon Roost Cavern. He could be sailing the open seas, doing something else. It's like, what would he do in his spare time? What do you guys think? Oh, also, this is going to turn out interesting since the bridge is out, and even though we have the Deku Leaf, we must now use the one song. Actually, we don't even need to use that song. I was going to say to turn the wind, but to change the wind, but the wind's already pointing in the correct direction. Now here is where the game would have really started. However, I don't think there's much to this place. However, Outset is located... Oh. Yes, hello. Can I help you? But I was going to say that this is the first island, and that this would be the forest where we face off with our first real enemies. And you guys can keep that rupee. I'm good. It wouldn't help us anyways. But yeah, this island is actually protected by a great fairy. Now, we normally needed bombs for this, but, you know, the power bracelets. The power bracelets were the most expensive thing in all of the Great Sea. So, my question to y'all is, what do you think this great fairy will give us? Pause the video, write your answer in the comments below, and we're going to find out in a moment. And then Blue waited. She didn't know what she was waiting for, but she was waiting. And then after a moment she got so tired of waiting, she continued this adventure and questioned what type of voice was within her head. She didn't know where it came from. She didn't know how it got there. This is what happens when you're out on the open seas for so long. You guys ready? Here she is. Young Waker of the Winds. Allow me to guide you within your quest. I hope this will help you. Return to my fountain anytime you need to be refreshed, and all my fairies will protect you. But until next time, do not forget to leave a like or a comment below. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button to see more. This has been the Hyrule Historian, along with the Great Fairy of the Fountain. And I will see you all in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and later.